Thank you for inviting me to this conference. I'm Marina Muskhelishvili. Some 30 years ago, I was a mathematician and worked with many people in this room. Then I changed my specialty, and now I'm working in social sciences and political sciences. And I would like to say a few words from this perspective about two spheres with which the name of Niko Muskhelishvili is mostly associated in Georgia. The first is science itself, and the second is the system, scientific system, which produces the new knowledge, and which both are in decline in Georgia. You have seen in this presentation that both developed in Georgia during the 20th century and the 21st century. We have questions. We have questions about future and about how it will be for countries like Georgia, and I'm sure many people here are also concerned with perspectives in their countries. And this is something that we should think about, I think, when we are talking about Niko Muskhelishvili, because his contribution was not only in his own research, but in a whole development of a system which was based on real and pure scientific values and scientific ethics of creating new valuable knowledge. After this system, was it good or bad? It wasn't up to Muskhelishvili. It's not up to us because it was decided, how and what. After the system dissolved, what we have now, we have problem of community building in scientific community. You know that knowledge is not something different from information just because it's information that is legitimate because it is a product of system and not of individual. When we write something, even it is excellent proof of a theorem, it becomes knowledge only after somebody reads it and proves, yes, there is no mistake, this is really true knowledge. So this is the system which we need and which we unfortunately now don't have, and which unfortunately does not function. In mathematics it's easier because mathematics is very international science. You can publish abroad, you can communicate with foreigners by formula, and this is relatively cosmopolitan science. But in my field, for example, social sciences, we publish abroad, of course, but we also need local discourse, local knowledge-producing system, which will be serving development of Georgian sciences, Georgian social sciences, and the country which doesn't produce new knowledge, it doesn't have past, it doesn't have history. It's just a territory which will be described as by somebody else from outside and not developing from inside. So this is the problem which we are encountering now after the system that existed in Muskhelishvili's time doesn't function anymore. The conference which you have here is an excellent example what is needed for this system, because not many sciences have such conferences. I can tell you about social sciences. You have here, I think, most of working mathematicians involved in these activities who are Georgia, producing new academic knowledge in Georgia. But you never see, and this is because this is tradition. In history matters, social science have this such field which is called historic institutionalism, and it means that it says that history matters, and this is the history that you have this conference, and this is very, very good, and which is very, very important tradition. which should be continued as much as possible, because this is the one of these components of integrated system which is needed. But in social sciences, in sociology, you will never see such, despite that much more funding and much more applied research comes there, and much more necessity from different sides require in Georgia now development of this field. So here I'm letting apart the necessity of integrated system, which is not up to us. It is up to the government, up to the state to create it, because this is, if it doesn't exist, there exists atomized amount of individuals who do their research and who do not create discourse. To create discourse, you have to have publishing houses, you have to have infrastructure, you have to have conferences, peer review, etc., etc. The whole system of support for this to produce a bulk of knowledge and narrative of knowledge creation. But I want to talk about the applied side of this, because mathematics is crucially needed in Georgia now as applied science, and this is what Muskhelishvili was always for. Applied, he never understood very theoretical and detached from the applied means to be linked to engineering, physics, economy, etc., etc. What I am for now, and what I am feeling everywhere where I deal with, and this is social and political life, is absolute absence of applied mathematics applied to social sciences, to social life, and to the development of society. Because there, I am sure, there is a big lack, and it is not only Georgia, it's not only because we are here in this transitional situation for so many years. In America, I have been there, and I know American political science. The political science, they use mathematics very heavily. It's very positivist endeavor in America to be political scientist, for example. But the mathematics which they use is traditional, I would say Euclidean, ordinary, based on very, I would say, earth which rests on the back of 3 elephants. What they also need, they need non-Euclidean, they need singular, they need very different approaches to model, because there is a gap between mathematicians who are doing social sciences and social sciences who do not use mathematics, that these positivist mathematicians who do something with social sciences don't simply understand anything, and they're vice versa. So these are two camps that struggle with each other. But what they need is something like this. Last year, I haven't done mathematics for 30 years, but last year I took analytical geometry by Niko Muskhelishvili, and I used his very simple things, which are first grade student texts from university about projective spaces, to model political situation in Georgia. And I should tell you that it works. It works because it is something that that we need, that from mathematicians in Georgia, to engage in something more up-to-date social and political, and play more role, because you can't imagine how there the situation is sometimes in social sciences in terms of transforming information into knowledge. As I said, what we produce is only information. It should be transformed into knowledge by means of system that legitimizes. And in this system, mathematics is necessary to cooperate with other disciplines, with humanitarian and social disciplines. Thank you once more for this conference, and thank you once more for this warm memory for Niko Muskhelishvili, and thank you once more for being here, who are coming from abroad, and for Georgian mathematicians who still continue this tradition alive. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.